Yes, everybody. Russ of the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well, my friends. Happy Monday. Monday afternoon, eh? The Knights are drawing in. Crazy, isn't it? This morning, I spoke about something equally as crazy. Nicholas Füllkrug being linked with a move to Real Madrid, with Xabi Alonso seeing him as the perfect summer signing. Wow, he must have a good fucking agent, I tell you, with him and Juventus and Borussia Dortmund. And anyway, we talk about that in a little bit more detail. But it is Monday. If anyone new to the channel, a plethora of new subscribers. So thank you. There's still a percentage of you who are not subscribing. I'll tell you what it is at the moment. I should have done it. It is currently, he says. That's the button I want to press. Where's my stats? 41% of you. 41% of you are not subscribing. Unbelievable, Jeff. So go back and have a look at that bottom button there. If it's grey, it means you're subscribed. If it's red, it means you're not subscribed. So click it and you become a subscriber. Or maybe become a channel member and get added into doing sort of monthly sort of subscriber draws for signed stuff every month. Anyway, let's talk about Monday. It's Russy Rumour Roundup, the original Rumour rating. We're going to talk about some players. Now, a little warning, we're not saying we're signing all these players, quite the contrary. In fact, we keep a running total. We're currently at 127, I want to say. 127 players have been linked to so far this transfer window. Let me just check. 123, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 132, actually. 132. So what we do is we talk about the rumor or the news item that's come out about that person being linked to West Ham. We talked about apologies, hay fever's awful at the moment, and then we give you the Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating. So let's crack on like Donkey Kong and talk about Nicolas Gonzalez from Juventus, 27-year-old Argentinian international, played against West Ham in the game against Fiorentina in the Europa Conference League and actually put the assist on for their equalising goal. But according to reports, Juventus are looking to move him on. That's it. And could, according to the article in 𝙏𝙍𝘼𝙉𝙎�12, be Mohamed Kudus's replacement. Now, not so replacement, but someone who could play in that position for a fraction of the price. He's had, since he signed from Fiorentina, he's had a difficult season in Turin, and Juventus are prepared to sell several players to conduct a rebuild themselves. Obviously, they were looking at Figuered and trying to do a deal with him and Regani, who we sort of turned that down. But yesterday, 𝙏𝙍𝘼𝙉𝙎�12 reported that he's not deemed irreplaceable and could be allowed to leave Juventus for as little as £22 million, a fee which has been described as a bargain. Not by me. Marseille, Brentford, West Ham have all been credited with an interest in the 27-year-old. West Ham are obviously operating on a limited budget, so securing a player of Gonzalez's pedigree for £22 million would be a positive step in the right direction. He would arrive as an international star of plenty of experience in Serie A and Europe and would help replace Kudus's speed and goal threat, apparently. He's capable of playing at both wings as well as both wings, as well as through the middle. And he provided 9 goals and assists in 35 appearances since joining Juventus. He's played for Argentina 43 times, winning 2 Copa Americas, and could provide cover for Bowen while also playing alongside him. I think the issue for me is the fact is he's 27, and I don't know, and I know not every player we're going to bring in is going to be under the age of 25, but £22 million, I think we can probably go to the Belgium league. And actually, we look at some of the play. We'll talk about a player we'll be linked to as well. It's probably going to cost around that maybe anyway for Anderlecht. So would I rather buy him than him? Yes, to be honest. But we'll see. The Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, has given him a Lamar 50-50 because I can. There's going to be, as I said, it's all data driven, and in terms of what we need and what we will be replacing if we sold Kudus. I don't know. We've had our feet burnt with Argentinian players, haven't we, recently? So I can't see this one happen. But 50-50 because strange things have happened at sea. Could we be going back to the well a third time at Ajax? Quite possibly. We obviously have bought Edson Alvarez, Mohamed Kudus. Now, according to reports, West Ham are looking for a hat-trick of signings from the Dutch Giants, and looking to reignite interest in a star who could be available for around £20 million. West Ham want to complete a Ajax transfer hat-trick, with the player linked being 𝙍𝙍𝘼𝙍 Sutalo. The 25-year-old Croatian international was linked to us back in 2023. But ironically, Ajax used some of the money they raised from selling Kudus and Alvarez to the Hammers to actually beat us to 𝙍𝙍𝘼 as he left Dynamo Zagreb. So, but apparently we moved for him back when he was at Zagreb. But according to Gianluca Di Marzio, he claims that 𝙍𝙍𝘼 has remained firmly in West Ham's sights, and the deal never materialised last season because obviously we opted to spend the £72 million for Max Kilman and Jean-Claire Todibo combined. But as we know, he likes, Potter likes to play a back three. Mavropanos is not the answer, so that we need to get that third one in. And 𝙍𝙍𝘼 could be the man. He suits Potter's desire. He's well known, playing out for the back. He's very good on the ball. Obviously, a lot of experience. 28, great age, and he's known for being very dominant in the air. So Croatia football have expanded on claims from ESPN that Ajax are open to selling him this summer for around £20 million. And they've claimed West Ham are one of the clubs interested in potentially signing him. Now, this one seems more... I can see this one happening. Like, more, we've got open lines of communication with Ajax. We probably still owe them some money for some of the players, for Edson and Mo as well. Could see this one happening potentially. 20 million seems, to be honest, for a 25-year-old regular international centre half, I don't think that's a bad deal. I don't think it's a bad deal at all. And if he fits all the data profiles, so be it. He gets 60%. 6 out of 10 on the Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating. Now, one name that's come back like an old smell is João Palhinha. According to reports, West Ham and Fulham are looking at the possibility of bringing the Bayern Munich outcast back to the Premier League ahead of the next season. Now, obviously, we were linked him before he went to Bayern Munich, and he was very much going to be the Declan Rice replacement, but that never materialised. He went to Bayern Munich, who forked out about £47 million from him. He was 27, 28 at the time, so it was a lot of money. And he hasn't worked out for him. He's only amassed 1,000 minutes of first-team action under Vincent Kompany. Now, if we're looking for strength in the defensive side of the things and someone who could provide balance, yes, he knows the Premier League. But he's 29. He's 29. You're going to get 2 years out of him, 3 years max. He's never relied on pace, granted, but I just can't see us spending a significant chunk of change on bringing João Palhinha in. He'll make. Our midfield's quite slow as it is, and someone like João Palhinha is not actively quick player. He's quite slow as well. He's a blocker. He's a good player, not doubting his prominence, but I just think we could probably, have someone with a bit more energy, like Freddie Potts playing that position. If you played alongside of Freddie Potts, that's be a very strong midfield, But I think the only way I could see a deal happening with him is if it's a loan deal. And if it was a loan deal, I'm sure Munich would have put a loan with obligation to buy, and then he'd be 30, 31 by the time we bought him, and you get no return on investment. So it'd have to be either a very minimal fee in terms of buying him with an obligation, or no deal for me. But, and I like big buts, and I cannot lie. Look back to the MO of Graham Potter, and he does like bringing in sort of some elder statesmen. Now, obviously, we've cut the age of the squad down dramatically. So we've got rid of basically 5 or 6 of the oldest players. Emerson's the next one, really, I think, in terms of age. Maybe Thomas Souček as well. Actually, it won't be. It'll be, what's his face, won't it? Be Areola, 32. But under Brighton, yes, he brought in all these young players, but he also brought in James Milner. He also brought in Adam Lallana. He also brought in Danny Welbeck, and bringing these players in, fucking Milner's still playing, isn't he? And Welbeck, but unless it's a cracking deal, it's no deal for me. Unless it's a stupid deal, no deal. And I don't think Bayern Munich are that stupid. So I'm going to give it 50-50 because, coming to the end of the transfer window, if we need a body, so I don't mean to step away from the mic. If we need a body, and someone who we know can just slot in, particularly when it comes to pre-season and towards the end of pre-season, we need someone who's ready to roll, not someone who's going to need a pre-season, who's going to need time to adjust to the Premier League. He's ready. Arguably last year, our two most successful signings were the two Premier League ready players who we probably, Aaron, we didn't play over the odds, but played over the odds for Max Kilman. So, but they could slot straight in. And Zhao could do that, but I just can't see it. I just can't see us spending a significant chunk of change in him. The person and by all accounts, he's one of our top transfer targets is the Anderlecht forward or attacking midfielder, Mario Stoeykens. Now, according to 𝙏𝙍𝘼𝙉𝙎 employee, he is a player of significant interest to West Ham this summer. He is someone that the club identified as a player we could well be set to target this summer. We're led to believe, I think Nottingham Forest been sniffing around as well. And Leeds have been sniffing around for him. And he's one that we are very, very, very keen on bringing in. Now, this is what, money-wise, you'd probably look at about 20 million, maybe 25 million for him. And I'd rather spend that on him than I would on Nico Gonzalez because you're going to get a return on investment on him. And he's young, he's 20, he's just starting. I don't think he's made a day. I don't think he's played for the Belgian full national side. He's been called up, but I don't think he's played for the full national side yet. He's played for the under-21s and pretty much every youth age group behind him in terms of Belgium. But I really like him. We were linked to, I think it was big end of the season, the name Mario Stoeykens came through, and Anderlecht, and looking at the Pro League and Club Bruges with Rafael Rijeka, and so for me it was like I then did the YouTube highlights of Mario, and I just think he's the type of player that I think West Ham fans would really get on board with. Very direct, very skillful, very tenacious type of player we really like at West Ham. We haven't had one. I suppose Kudus to some extent in terms of that sort of like rawness. But I think we would really enjoy him as a West Ham fan. I would really enjoy watching him in the Claret and Blue. But it all comes down to the money. Dum. So it's all about the price tag. And I don't know at the moment whether we can get him before others get him. That's what worries me. Yes, we have access to data-driven analytics, but so does every other fucking club in the Premier League. And every other club hasn't come out and said we have to sell before we buy. So, not every club, but you know what I mean. And that's what worries me slightly. So in terms of, I really would like him in the Claret and Blue shirt, the West Ham Claret and Blue shirt, not Aston Villa or Burnley, West Ham one. But I think it's literally in the balance, 50-50. It's 50-50. As I said, we're now at 130, what did I say? 132 players we've been linked to so far. 6 Premier League squads now. And so I have an inkling that they were feeling that there will be some sort of movement starting this week, ins and outs, because I'm away for a few days, so it's bound to happen. Sod's law. I should just go and shopping. I should basically live in Lakeside. Every time I went shopping in Lakeside last year, we seemed to sign a fucking player. But anyway, let us know in the comments below. Any of those float your boat? I'll be fascinated to hear your opinions on João Paulino. For me, I think unless it's a loan deal, I wouldn't. I'm not say touch me with barge pole. He's still a fucking good player, but I just don't see. It doesn't fit the MO of what we're looking to do. But yeah, anyway, take care, everyone. God bless me. Stay tuned. Stay warm. Well, you know all that stuff. Stay safe. Yes, the West Ham Safety Network. If you're new in here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. As I said, 40% of you are not subscribers. Unbelievable, Jeff. We could take over the world if you lot subscribed. And until next time, everyone, take care, and I'll see you soon. Much love, motherfuckers.